Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another Schedule 1 video with your boy Coconut Stick. Today we're going to be showing you the ultimate bungalow video, which can be used for new players and for experienced players to try to optimize as much space as you physically possibly can while making this literally fully automated as much as you need to. And it's pretty straightforward, pretty cheap build. It's not too expensive. I'll put down below how much it ended up costing for everything in a pinned comment, along with all of the stuff you need in a pinned comment. So you can just jump straight down there now to know specifically what you need and how many. And yeah, let's just crack in. So we've got 1 chemist, we have 3 botanists, 1 handler. Yes, we are not using a cleaner because, as you can see, I don't really care about mess. You know, I just live with it. It's fine. Live in the trash. They call me the trash man. But yeah, we're gonna go over the build. So first things first, you're gonna need 24 air pots, 24 suspension racks, 24 full spectrum lights. You can use LED grow lights for this, but it's just better to have the full optimized, most efficient growing setup possible. Then we're gonna have 8 large storage racks. We're gonna have 1 chemistry station, 1 lab oven, 2 mixing stations. You can either go Mark 1 or Mark 2. That's entirely up to you. I would recommend Mark 2 if you can afford it. 5 beds. I need to assign the last person that. But like I says, 8 large racks. This one is just for storage, as you can see. And then you got the 2 storage racks in here. And in each one of these storage racks that we have for these pots, so we have 16 pots inside of here. It's just literally like straight around edge to edge. Don't worry about these ones in the corner because the AI can walk through these poles, so they would easily access them. Then with these 2 storage racks in here, you'll have 20 extra long life soil, which is enough to do 60 seeds. We're going to have 30 fertilizer, and I've got 24 in here, and then 30 OG Kush seeds. Now, the reason why I'm going for OG Kush seeds is because you can actually get a pretty good 2-mix setup price on OG Kush for pretty cheap. So the normal OG Kush, when you first make it, is 38 suggested. If you mix Viagra with mouthwash, you will end up getting a different OG Kush, which the suggested is 81. So over double the price for just literally $8 extra, which we're going to automate that as well for you guys. As you can see, we got Viagra, we got mouthwash. But yeah, that's the simple setup. We're going to go over setting up all of these pots. The first thing you're going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then we're going to get through here. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Then we're going to click E. We're going to do seed, OG Kush, additive, fertilizer. Now, the reason why we're using fertilizer is drying racks are pretty janky. And to be honest, if you're going to be growing weed, I don't really feel like you're going to be needing to make it heavenly because that really doesn't matter until you get to the later game. The later game customers, where they pay a hell of a lot more and they have higher standards, so to say. So we're just going to do fertilizer, so that way then we can get purple, and then don't worry about the destination right now, even though I feel like it's actually all going to go to the same place, which is this mixer. So I'm an idiot. Click back on all the pots. Don't worry about it. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. While we do this, man, how's everyone's day going, man? I hope you're all having a beautiful day and enjoying yourself. We'll hit back on the manage, hit the destination, and all of these are going to go to here. Now, since we're going to be doing 2, I would probably recommend to put all of this into there. Now, the reason why... No. The destination is going to be the first mixing station. All right, first mixing station, bing, bang, bong. Simple. All right, you can't get any more simple than that. That's redonkulous with how many pots we have. Now, I haven't tested this fully myself, but if you do need to, which we will test this video, So we'll know at the end of the video. If we need to, we will place down these 2 racks to put all of the pot stuff into this rack and the chemistry meth stuff into this rack. Then I will actually get the handler to route from here into the first mixer and from here into the first mixer. Hopefully he will keep jumping between the 2, and then we'll have a flow of both 2-step mixed weed and 2-step mixed meth. But regardless, we're going to be getting the basic meth no matter what, and we're going to be getting 2-step mixed weed. All right, back to this. So we've done the pots all to here, right? Then what we're going to do is click on this chemistry station, recipe, liquid meth, destination, this mixing station as well. Then, no, I'm stupid. Destination is the lab oven. See, I'm stupid. Then the lab oven to the mixing station. If we are if we are struggling to get both weed on here because of how much weed is being produced along with the meth, what we'll do is we'll change this destination to this rack. But for now, for the test, we're gonna throw it onto the mixing station just like all of the pots. And then what we're gonna do here is E on the mixing station, turn the threshold up to 10, destination, the second mixing station, close that, open this one up, threshold 10, destination, straight into the brick press, and then from the brick press, we're gonna be putting it straight into here. But the thing is, we're gonna cancel these destinations because we're going to be getting our handler to move the end product from here into the brick press, and then obviously he'll move it from here to here because he has that many, like he's barely doing anything, you know. That's just one extra job he'll take from the chemist. All right, now we got to set up the workers. Now that all that is set up, easy peasy, we're going to go right to left. So we start with the chemist, give him a bed because we haven't given him a bed. There we go. And we'll go back to him, and we're going to assign stations. The stations are going to be chemistry station, lab oven, mixing station, and the mixing station. So 2 mixing stations, chemistry station and lab oven. And then what we're going to do is come back out here, click on to the next botanist, supplies. Now this is why we have 2 racks in here and why we have 2 racks in here, right? This being because this guy's supply rack is going to be this one on the left. Then we're going to click on pots and drying. Then we're going to hold shift and left click on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Left, let go of the left shift and then left click for 8 pots. Now we're going to go back outside. Oh, got to make sure that we don't get caught. Supply rack on the second botanist, second one. Then this guy is going to be assigned all of these pots. Boom. Done. Easy peasy. Now, we do the last one, which his supply rack is going to be this one here. And then these are going to be his pots right here. Bing, bang, and bong. Just that simple, guys. So we have the chemist assigned, all the botanists, and now what we're going to do is do this last guy, which we're going to do assign the brick press. Then what we are going to do is have this guy prioritize moving this Viagra storage rack to the first one, then add a new route, and it's going to be the mouthwash rack to the second mixer. Then we're going to add a new one, and then he's going to move the product from this mixing station over to the brick press, and then obviously we'll have 2 more to be able to do whatever we need. We're going to add a new one, and he's going to move this stuff off of this rack, which I'll show you what it is here in a sec. So if we cycle, this is where we're going to have our phosphorus, our acid, and our pseudo, where the handler's going to move that off of there and fill this up. One thing I'd recommend you do is you fill this up with 10 of each, so that way then he doesn't just pick up 20 phosphorus and slam 20 phosphorus in there and then nothing will happen. Now that that is full, he will keep filling it one by one by one. So this storage rack to this chemistry station, and I'm sure that that is basically everything. The 2 mixers, the product to the brick press, and then the chemistry station stuff over to here. And that's literally the setup. Like in every single rack, I have, like I says, 20 long life, 30 fertilizer, and 30 seeds of all OG Kush. And then in this one, just 20 phosphorus, 20 acid, and then I would have 40 pseudo, because pseudo is more of a pain in the ass to get than this stuff is. You can actually get that stuff, so acid and phosphorus, delivered whenever you need to by just doing this bungalow and then rack 1. Whenever you start running out of mouthwash and Viagra, which might be pretty quickly, I'll do an order of 160 and 160 of the stuff to the bungalow, and it will all be delivered to the bungalow, so you don't actually need to go out and get anything. Same with fertilizer and long life soil. The only thing you'll need to worry about getting and keeping on top of is the pseudo with Shirley, and then the seeds with Albert. But it's going to take a while for that stuff to deplete, and that's basically it. All you're going to do here is just throw the money into the beds. Make sure that you don't waste 1 day's worth of stuff by making sure that you go do this in the morning. But regardless, they're going to start getting to work filling up the stuff, and that's basically it. You can have our chemist cooking up the meth. While not, like I says, you can just have these 2 racks down, which will mean you'll need 10 storage racks. But if your workers start getting stuck, like on the racking, you may have to remove one of them. But as you can see, like, everything's just chilling. Is filling up the phosphorus. She's filling up these pots. And these 2 should be doing, yeah, these 2 are doing in here. Another thing is, if you don't want to mess about with meth, or you can't, you can, instead of getting the chemist and you don't want to do any mixing steps, you basically just rip these out, get another botanist, get instead, and you just place another 8 pots around. Like, you may need to move some stuff around if you are going to go 8 botanists. You may have to just remove one of these and then place like 2 here, and then you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you'll have another one like over here. Because your AI will walk between these racks, these suspension racks, so you don't need to worry about them getting stuck on that. And that means you can get rid of 2 of these storage racks, so then you could just have 1 here, 1 here, or you can have it sideways and have 1 here, 1 here, like facing down that way, so that way then you can have 2 pots here and 2 pots here extra along with these, where your people won't get stuck. Actually, you'll have 3 racks, so you'll have 1, 2, 3, right? But he won't get stuck on these, and he won't get stuck on these pots. And you'll have the 3 because you'll have 2 supply racks for this. You'll have like an extra in case you need to put extra storage. But saying that though, you got this storage, but the build's already done now. They're gonna get to work. You're gonna have purple, good. I'm gonna have to do the first mix because I haven't mixed up this stuff, but I'm gonna tell you the prices. So mixing the OG Kush with Viagra and mouthwash will give you the effects of anti-gravity, tropic thunder, and balding at the cost of $8 for the mouthwash and the Viagra. It will increase the OG Kush price from $38 suggested up to $81. Now, the rule of thumb at the moment is you multiply whatever the suggested is by 1.6, because your dealers will sell for whatever asking price you put. So let's say $81 times 1.6, you'll end up putting the weed that is that you're going to be making asking price $129. Now, the reason why you do this is because once the people, your customers, get addicted, they will more likely come and buy more of that same product. So 1.6 is generally a rule of thumb where it actually works consistently. But if that slows down and then not many are buying, and not only that, fuck me, man. You can tell this isn't scripted, can't you? Jesus Christ. And customers only buy make one purchase per day. So there's no point in trying to make it as cheap as possible to try and make as many sales as possible, because each customer will only buy once per day. So you just multiply it 1.6, and then you see how your dealer revenue is per day. See if it goes up, see if it's dropping a bit low. If it's dropping a bit low, then do it by 1.4. If you do it by 1.4, you'll 100% always get the maximum amount of value no matter what. But the 1.6 generally is working. That's why I'm the best weed. I've got it up to 262. Unfortunately, the cocaine, I can't get it up to the 1.6, which is 1,176. The max that you can put anything is 999. But for the most part, like, that's basically the build. The meth will go up from, if we click on meth, suggested 70. And the Viagra and mouthwash will give it Tropic Thunder and Balding at a cost of $8, and the sale price will be $123. So almost double the price. Now, you could do a better 2-mix setup with Viagra and horse semen, which will make 139 suggested. But if you're trying to automate it, just doing, you know, Viagra and mouthwash mix where you're not trying to do multiple different mixes is just much better. So 123, you put it up for a suggested of 123 times 1.6, 196 sell price. Now that's insane, especially for an early game player. But yeah, this is the TLDR. This is the build. This is the most efficient build that I've seen so far. It is curfew right now, so they're not going to keep working this. But I will end up sleeping, and yeah, man, that's the end of it. You know, so go with 10 storage racks instead. 4 in here, 4 out here, 2 inside of here. This is going to be, oh my lord, you guys are going to bug me. Not bug me, but rinse me in the comments about this one. Brick press straight to this closest storage rack. That is my bad. But yeah, appreciate you guys that have stopped by straight to the end. You guys are absolute legends. Next video coming out, I might make I might try and just do another pure meth lab, but using this setup where the beds are just taken up in here, and using this room and this room for chemistry stations and lab ovens, with like either a 2 mix setup or 4 mix setup, depending on how many chemists we can get. So be prepared for that. We'll release that in a few hours for you players that are just looking to do pure meth with mixing. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Leave a comment down below with what your favorite thing to do in the game is, whether you like selling drugs, whether you like just trying to automate to make every single build that you possibly have the most efficient as possible. What are your favorite mixes into what drugs? What is your favorite drug to sell / make? You know, I want to hear all about your Schedule 1 journey down below in the comments. I appreciate you guys stopping by. If you have any questions, also ask down below. Join the Discord and come and subscribe, leave a like, and come follow me on Twitch. Live pretty much every day. Twitch.tv/thecoconutstick. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. And guess what? Peace the fuck out.